You might think you have a pretty good handle on our planet, right? Well, get ready because we're about to dive into some geographical facts so bizarre, they'll make you question everything you thought you knew about the world we live on. So, let me kick things off with a question that sounds like it was ripped straight out of a nightmare. What if I told you that deep in the Amazon, there's a river that will literally boil any living thing that falls into it? Oh, yeah, it's absolutely real. It's called the Shanai-Timpishka, deep in the Peruvian Amazon, and it gets up to nearly 200 degrees Fahrenheit. Any animal that falls in is cooked, instantly. But here's where it gets really weird. The nearest volcano is 400 miles away, so what's heating it? Well, scientists think it's fault-fed hot springs, basically leaking heat straight from the Earth's core to create this 4-mile-long river of death. And believe me, a boiling river is just our first stop. We're going to journey through more mysterious waters, visit the planet's most extreme places, explore some truly bizarre human-made worlds, and finally, we'll get lost in nature's greatest illusions. All right, you ready? Let's dive in. Okay, first up, mysterious waters. And that boiling river, that was just the warm-up act. Our planet's water is hiding some truly unbelievable secrets just beneath the surface. Check this out. This is blood falls in Antarctica. And yeah, it looks pretty gruesome, right? But it's not actually blood. It's this plume of super salty water packed with iron that's been trapped under a glacier for millions of years. So when it finally seeps out and hits the oxygen in the air for the first time, the iron literally rusts, staining the ice this shocking blood red color. A river flowing inside a sea? I know it sounds completely impossible, but get this. Using sonar, scientists discovered that's exactly what's happening beneath the Black Sea. It's this super dense, salty current that carves its own channel right on the seabed, complete with riverbanks and even waterfalls. And this underwater river is so massive, if it were on land, it would be the 6th largest on the entire planet. Now, if you really want to wrap your head around the scale of our planet's water, you have to look at Lake Baikal in Siberia. Sure, it's the world's oldest and deepest lake, but that's not even the main event. This one lake holds a staggering 20% of all the world's unfrozen freshwater. That's more than all of North America's Great Lakes combined. Just wow. So we've seen how extreme our water can be, but you know what? That extremity isn't just hidden in the depths. Let's head to our next section and explore Earth's most extreme places. Locations that push the very limits of what you'd think is possible. Okay, picture this. It's 1971 in Turkmenistan, and a team of Soviet engineers has a bit of a problem. Their drilling rig collapsed, and now it's leaking flammable gas everywhere. Their solution? Hey, let's just light it on fire. It'll burn out in a few days. Well, more than 50 years later, that few days of fire is still raging in a 70-meter-wide crater they now call the Door to Hell. Oops. Speaking of extremes, let's talk about size. How big is Russia, really? Well, it's so enormous, clocking in at 17 million square kilometers, that it's actually bigger than the dwarf planet Pluto. Just let that sink in for a second. A single country on Earth has more surface area than an entire world in our solar system. That is just mind-blowing. And get this, inside that massive country, you'll find the absolute coldest, permanently inhabited place on Earth. A town called OMG. Here, winter temperatures regularly drop to minus 76 degrees Fahrenheit. It's so cold that people just leave their cars running all day, and even vodka will freeze solid. Just surviving here is a daily battle. I mean, the fact that people can survive in a place like OMG is incredible, right? And that's the perfect lead-in to our next section, human-made worlds, where people have figured out how to live in some of the most peculiar setups you can possibly imagine. All right, you might want to sit down for this one. This is quite possibly the most confusing address on the entire planet. It's a real-life geographical nesting doll in the Philippines. Okay, follow me on this. There is an island inside a lake on another island, which is inside another lake, which is on the main island of Luzon. Good luck putting that into Google Maps. Or how about this? A town where pretty much everyone lives in the exact same building? Welcome to Whittier, Alaska. Almost all of its 200 residents live in one 14-story former military building. It is a true vertical city. It's got the post office, the grocery store, the school, a church, a clinic. Everything is under one roof. You literally never have to go outside if you don't want to. Okay, so from a town of 200 under one roof, let's go to a town with a population of 1. That's right,
Monawe, Nebraska. The only resident is a woman named Elsie Eiler. She is the mayor. She's the librarian. She runs the town's only tavern. She literally pays taxes to herself and grants her own liquor license. She does it all.
So we've seen how humans can create some really strange worlds, but sometimes nature itself is the best trickster of all. For our final section, let's dive into nature's illusions, phenomena that look like they can't possibly be real, but absolutely are. I mean, just look at this. At first glance, it looks like a gigantic waterfall plunging into an abyss deep in the ocean. But your eyes are playing tricks on you. This is an incredible optical illusion off the coast of Mauritius. It's actually just sand and silt being pulled by ocean currents over a steep cliff, creating this breathtaking image of a waterfall beneath the waves. Welcome to what is literally the world's largest mirror. This is the Salar de Uyuni in Bolivia, a massive salt flat. And during the rainy season, a thin layer of water covers it, transforming it into this almost perfect reflective surface. It is so vast and so flawless that space agencies actually use it from orbit to calibrate their satellites. Now here's a mystery that totally stumped scientists for decades: the sailing stones of Death Valley. You have these rocks, some weighing hundreds of pounds, that just seem to slide across the desert floor all by themselves, leaving these long tracks behind. So what's the secret? It's a super rare mix of conditions. A thin layer of ice forms overnight. Then it starts to melt and break up into huge sheets. Then just a light wind is enough to push these big ice sheets, which carry the rocks right along with them. So after seeing all of this, what's the big takeaway? From boiling rivers to countries bigger than planets to towns with only one person, the lesson is pretty clear, right? Our world is just so much stranger, more mysterious, and frankly, way more incredible than we often give it credit for. And all of this leaves you with one final fascinating thought. If all of these bizarre, seemingly impossible places actually exist, it just makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other incredible secrets is our planet still hiding, just waiting to be discovered? Thanks for exploring these amazing places with me. You might